And
Sure.
well, that's getting started. It is live. What is the website that you want me to use or publish? I have aquilinedrones.com. Is there any
That's
place
correct.
else? Okay.
That's sufficient.
Okay, cool. Let me put that up as a banner. And great. Well, there we go. Well, I'll give you the official start. So we are live. This is the Facebook Live speaker series and sponsor series for the Huge Convention. And you know, the Huge Convention is a little bit less than 2 weeks from today. I believe we're going to be. Let me hold on. I can't see your name. Let me let everybody know. We got Barry Alexander. Barry's the founder of Aquiline Drones, and you're also a seasoned 747 commercial pilot. And right after we get off this call, you mentioned you're going to be flying roughly from Seattle to Japan. Is that right?
That's correct.
Good. Well, thanks for jumping on with us. I had talked to one of the guys on our team, and I said, "How do we catch Barry?" And he's like, "The dude is all over the world. Like he might be calling in from Japan or from, like anywhere on the planet." So I'm glad we had a chance to connect here today.
Absolutely.
Well, good. Well, just for people that haven't met you, so I met you once 2 years ago. You were at the Huge Convention, and your company and your stuff, you guys provided kind of the grand prize giveaway. You gave away a commercial drone with training that's capable of doing, soft wash and power wash. But you've got a really interesting background. You're from St. Lucia, right?
Yes. I'm a native of the island of St. Lucia, and been in the U.S. For a little 40 plus years. So it's been quite a epic journey.
It's a big journey. When did you become a pilot?
I've been licensed commercial pilot, spanning decades.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhat involved in just about every aspect of aviation on a commercial level, whether it be flying helicopters or airplanes, but also as a licensed aircraft technician. So,
Okay.
Quite immersed in the aviation industry.
Wow. So, and when I looked up some of your background, it looked like one of your first commercial ventures was you started an air ambulance service, Aquiline Air Ambulance from St. Lucia.
Yes, Aquiline Air Ambulance. So that speaks to the genesis of the Aquiline group of companies,
Mm-hmm.
which start off with Aquiline Holdings, then Aquiline Air Ambulance, Aquiline Interactive, which is a digital media outfit, then Aquiline Commerce, which focused on electronic payment systems, and now Aquiline Drones, which arguably is the culmination of everything we've done over the past 30 plus years, and
Okay.
probably our endpoint, which is which is going to parlay into probably an initial public offering sometime next year.
Okay.
So that's really where it all started and where it is today and where it will hopefully end.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. That's really great. By the way, congratulations. So when we first met, and you had Aquiline Drones, and we were talking, you gave away the drone at the convention, and it was strictly in the context of power washing, and I was like, oh, what a perfect name for a drone for power washing would be Aquiline. But I didn't realize that name has been like the brand name that you started decades ago, and it's followed you all the way through. Where'd the name come from?
Aquiline means like an eagle or eagle-like. So when you speak of the somewhat convex shape of an eagle's beak, synonymous with freedom, of course, that somewhat denotes the spirit of Aquiline as far as freedom and dominance and sovereignty, if you may. Not surprisingly or coincidentally, Aquiline Drones actually was the name of the first drone CIA drone program in the U.S., and that was
Oh, really?
back in '68. It was called Project Aquiline. So, and of course, did not know that when we formed Aquiline or Aquiline Drones, but found out along the way that our our DNA was clearly rooted in something of greater importance that is being celebrated in a different form today.
That's okay. That's really fascinating. That's a really nice full circle with Aquiline. Just out of curiosity, once you launched Aquiline drones in 2020, did anyone from the CIA contact you and go, "What are you guys doing over there?" That's our program from the 60s.
It was the other way around. I called him and asked him to basically cease and desist using the name of the reference. But if you did a Google search on Aquiline drones deep enough, you will find that the name was formed by the CIA back in '68.
Yeah, be fascinating. Okay, that's fun. That's fun. So, and you're still flying now in primarily
Yes.
747. Yeah.
Yes. This segment did let's see here, Miami to Fiji to Australia to Guam to Anchorage, Alaska, then down to Mexico City, now to Seattle, and from Seattle I head off to Nagoya, Japan, and then Okinawa, Anchorage, Chicago, then home. But all of that to say that Aquiline drones functions, with equal intensity, regardless of whether I'm on the ground or in the air. Flying does not detract from my responsibilities at Aquiline drones or my focus on building and managing Aquiline drones. It's actually Aquiline drones is actually the mainstay of my business activity. So that's focal to everything we do.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. We're going to say hello to our friend Jason Gulick. He popped in to say hello this morning and learn about drones. Jason is based out of Arizona. He's got a window cleaning company, and he's bringing a bunch of people to the convention this year. Good to see you, my man.
Hi, Jason.
With so when this is just curiosity, a flight from, you said Miami to Fiji. That seems like an incredibly long leg.
Actually, it was Miami to Baltimore, Baltimore to Fiji. Baltimore to Fiji is about 15 hours.
Okay.
Across the Southeast Pacific.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, so let's talk drones just a little bit. So I discovered my ignorance a couple of days ago. I went to Aquiline Drones. I was expecting to see everything about soft washing and power wash, and I see drones specifically designed for lots of applications, power line inspections, payload, carrying stuff, pressure and soft wash, graffiti removal, and one that I really want to ask you about because I just don't know what it means is below ground inspection.
Yes. So when we, I guess that speaks to the rich tapestry of commercial drone activity at Aquiline Drones. We're primarily drone manufacturers with a business ecosystem of services that support just about everything that's done out there. So we build and design and build drones for specific applications. In this case, power washing, and by extension, painting and graffiti abatement.
Yeah.
When one thinks of drones within the ambit of total exterior care, property care, they don't normally associate drones with that kind of activity. But it's been quite a while since we've been at it, and on a global scale, I must add that drones actually provide a huge benefit in that regard, as far as mitigating liability, enhancing safety, and increasing profitability. The drone, as a machine, of course, enables one within the realm of power washing to eliminate the use of ladders and scaffolding, which are both
Very dangerous.
expensive and dangerous.
Yeah.
So not just for the operator or vendor, but also for the client. So it's very important that people understand that we're moving into a business environment where customers, especially commercial customers, are requiring vendors to consider or by mandate use drones for exterior property care. To mitigate liability on their properties.
Yeah. A great example of that. There's a couple of friends of mine in the Chicagoland area, and they have, for the past few years, they've stepped into municipalities and soft washing water towers. And they said their process, they have to bring in a boom lift that's 130 to 180 feet and operate that. And they've got 6 people on the crew, 2 in the basket, 4 ground crew, and they got a drone. And they've been using a drone to do these power washings for 2 years. They said they've had one instance where they were not able to do the whole project with the drone. They did have to get a lift up, but now instead of doing 1 tower in a week, they're able to complete 2 to 3 in a week with half the crew. So the profitability skyrocketed. But the main thing for me as a business owner in these industries is the safety aspect. There's so much less risk, not only to your employees, but to the surrounding area and any pedestrian or commercial traffic that's going around. So
it's a no-brainer, and it's somewhat of a nail-biting experience. I mean, just seeing window washers dangling off the side of buildings when we do have advanced drone technology that replaces that archaic way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So if safety is definitely a concern, and which it should be paramount, our encouragement is that power washers consider adding drones for power washing activity. There are also things that are worthy of note as far as how operations are viewed by insurance underwriters.
Yeah.
In that, if you both on the supply and demand side of the equation, see on the demand side of things, where customers are wanting coverage from insurance companies for their properties, they are required to maintain their properties to a certain standard. Insurance companies will cancel your homeowner's insurance policy for a roof that is badly maintained. And badly maintained includes fungus and buildups and stuff like that on your roof, which can be abated with drones. Even stepping off a ladder or lift onto a rooftop, above, I think, four stories, skyrockets your premium.
Your liability.
Your liability. So and thus your premium. So there again, drones essentially pave the road, not just to riches, but it really adds a significant safety component to commercial power washing and painting and graffiti abatement operations.
Yeah, for sure. A friend of mine sent me, he didn't show me the RFP, but he received an RFP request for proposal from a hospital in the Washington, D.C. area. And they wanted the building power washed or soft washed. And it's a large complex. And their number one requirement was it must be done with a drone. You're not bringing in a boom lift and putting people above ground is qualified drone operators and drone businesses only. And it's the first time I had seen that. That was just this year. It's probably not the first time it's happened, but are you seeing that in
Yeah.
industry as you guys stay in touch
Yeah.
of it?
Oh, absolutely. Most universities around the country are requiring you to use drones for power washing and painting applications. Universities, hospitals, just about any commercial structure, municipalities as well, are requiring that drones be used for these exterior care services for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to start asking about what it takes to, like, our audience, a lot of, most of our audience and attendees at the huge convention, they're already in power washing and soft washing. So they don't have technical questions about how to use soft wash, but they're going to ask questions about, well, what does it take to get into a drone? And Jason just asked a great question, like, what kind of training is required to operate the drone? And I know there's some legal aspects to having a FAA license for a drone.
Yes, having an FAA license, which is called a Part 107 license, to commercially operate a drone, and then the required training, which we provide. We prep you to take the Part 107 license. It's not difficult, and just to put it out there, when we think of the encumbrances or the things that intimidate us, I can tell you that passing the FAA Part 107 license is definitely not one of them. We train you to proficiency, so you can go take the test, and thereafter there is required hands-on training, not just to operate a drone, but to operate a drone specifically for power washing applications. So we don't just build, sell, and train you on the drone. We train you specifically to power washing applications. So we know the industry, we know the equipment, we know the techniques, we know the chemicals, we know everything about the industry, such that we could get you totally outfitted and totally trained to proficiency, to operate the drone professionally.
Do you have hands-on training at your facilities in Connecticut?
Yes, we do, and we could also do on-site training. We do it with a lot of states, for example, as we speak, for graffiti removal. The Washington State Department of Transportation has a number of our drones. We went out there and did their training. California, Nevada, Nebraska, I think. Oregon, a lot of states are adopting our drone technology for graffiti removal.
Wow. Okay.
And it's something that power washing companies can also consider when you think of the seasonality of work in the power washing space. If you're living in Connecticut or somewhere where it gets extremely cold, that same drone, because of its utility, allows you to do different activities. So you could engage in, snow or ice removal of electrical pylons, roofs, gutters, everything.
Yeah. Okay. That's really interesting. I've got a question. I'll come back to you on that. I wanted to pop up. Jason had said he's been cleaning windows 15 years, and people tried getting him to use a water-fed pole. And that's one of the main benefits of water-fed pole is you can stand on the ground and you can clean 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 stories. So it's a safety factor. But now he wants to learn to fly drones. Jeffrey's talking about it is very interesting for especially used for high rise. What's an interest? What would be an entry point? Like how much could someone get a drone for and get trained to start? Maybe it's not the top level drone, but one that, for an individual user or a small company could use and start getting some of these government or hospital type contracts.
The standard package goes for somewhere in the region of 45,000. And, that will get you everything you need on the drone side of things.
Yeah.
Of course, we also have refurbished packages or units
Okay.
that are marked down, say about $10,000, and so it really gives you an ability based on your budget
Yeah.
to get in wherever you can. Most of our customers on a global scale see an ROI that allows them to pay that off in a matter of months.
Yeah.
In a matter of months, you could pay that back off with that single drone or couple drones.
Yeah.
And
And honestly,
sorry.
45 grand is not like that. I was expecting more. I was
Yeah,
expecting
that's
more.
that's
Not
a
a
piece.
big deal.
That's a piece of business equipment, a vehicle, for example.
Yeah.
So adding a drone which provides a substantial benefit, cost savings, profitability, safety enhancement, and mitigation of liability. It's almost a must.
Yeah.
And it's sexy. It's sexy too. People stop by and observe drone power washing, ask
Yeah.
questions and stuff, and they're excited about it. Also from a worker retention standpoint, younger workers today, they don't think power washing is that sexy, but you put a drone control in the hand, and let me tell you, you have a friend for life.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking immediately of hiring young guys that spend a lot of time playing video games. They just have the hand-eye coordination, so they're way ahead on the curve of understanding how to utilize and learning how to drive. What's the they come in different sizes. You have different models. Clearly, you guys have a lot of different. You have a big line for the different applications, but just in the world of power washing, are there different sizes?
Yeah. So our standard pressure washer or pressure washing drone or power, soft washing drone, both soft washing and high pressure washing, is the AD Endure. That is arguably one of the industry leaders on a global scale. Been battle tested. It's been out in the market for well over 15 years. In just about every operating theater, whether you're talking about maritime operations, oil and gas, energy and utilities, power washing, painting, graffiti removal, and that will get you just about everything you need. If you're looking for a lighter unit that can go a bit higher, we have the AD Ultra, which is it just uses 2 less batteries, but the same performance capabilities, allowing it to carry your tethered hose a little bit higher.
Okay.
And that's just about, again, $10,000 less as far as the package goes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fascinating. Okay. Here's a great question. As far as certifications, is that a national requirement for FAA and certifications, or are they
Yes.
different by state? It's okay. It's all national.
Yes.
FAA.
Yep. Once you get a license, you're good to go nationwide.
Yeah. My oldest son got his drone license, I think 5 years ago, as he's a videographer and photographer. And he wanted to, and he's like, he is so good at making certain that he is compliant and playing things by the rules. And it was funny. I asked him one day, we had a team that was doing a high-rise window clean. I'm in Montana. We don't have a lot of high-rise, but an 8-story building, and they're rappelling. And I'm like, hey, Michael, could you bring the drone down next week and film some of this? Because it'll make great footage for us. And he's like, what's the address? He calls me back and he says, no, can't do. That's too close to the flight zone. It's within XYZ. He's like, you'll have to contact so-and-so at the airport and get special permission for that. And I was like, holy shit, that's okay. I was just thinking like a hobbyist, we're like, yeah, we'll just fly a drone around there. And he's like, that's not how it works. Once you're licensed, that like it's for real, and you play by the rules. And I was like, okay.
Absolutely. And another thing to consider here is that drones are here to stay.
Yes.
And they will be as commonplace as the everyday use of cars. And you essentially get in on the ground floor where you're establishing a core set of business principles that are going to give you that competitive edge. So when one starts thinking, okay, should I add a drone to my current business operation, and why should I add it? It's absolutely clear that it's almost needed, at this point, and it is going to be required. It has already been required in certain instances, but in the very, very near future, it's going to be a requirement. Another thing to that is that when companies start looking at the whole concept of ESG, as far as cost savings on the insurance side of things, it makes it almost mandatory. So definitely something to consider.
Yeah, and you guys have you guys are so vertically integrated in drone, from research and development to manufacturing to distribution, but you also have you have the education. But did I see correctly that you have like remote drone operations center?
Yes. So I was noticing on some of your material, you said that if you're working for a business, the business somewhat owns you. The whole reason we get into business is profitability, so that we can take care of ourselves and our families. And so, using drone technology appropriately, it should provide that benefit, profitability benefit. When most people consider getting into drone power washing, we always advise that there's nothing glamorous about being poor, and so success is really it should be deliberate. So get out there and advertise that technology. Start targeting. Say, for example, if you live in Montana, you start targeting all the hotels or owners of water towers and owners of buildings that have solar panels or even wind turbines, and do like a demo day where you invite them, like a month down the road, and you send out marketing material, and on the day of the demo you bring out the tents and the refreshments and stuff, because they always come when there's refreshments involved. And you'd be surprised at how much of an impact that makes, just advertising that you use drones for power washing, for the obvious reasons, but also because you are on board with the latest technology and that you are conscious of the safety concerns.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And then I wanted to ask you about franchise opportunities, or there's some I don't think it's co-branding, but you have franchise opportunity, or tell me more about your business model there.
Yeah, so we offer turnkey solutions, everything end to end for anyone who is not currently involved with power washing or drone operations. And I can't think of a better time in history, in the US's history, where people are starting to feel self-actualized again. Somewhat like the Industrial Revolution, guys left their homes in droves to go build the Hoover Dam and things of that nature. Here we are in a society where people are less trusting of government and also corporate America, and so they're looking at self-employment options, as a way to secure their retirements. And so get into drone power washing, which is very, very easy. We make it that way. Is arguably one of the best, business, models today. So on the turnkey side of things, where the franchises are concerned, we get you totally outfitted to get out there inside of 6 months, with the drone equipment, the power washing equipment, the training, specific to different, power washing applications,
Yeah.
or if you already in the business of power washing, you would look at a somewhat of a modular approach, or picking from an a la carte menu. You
Yeah.
already have a power washing skid, then you add the drone and the training and everything else. So either turnkey, operation where we do everything for you,
Mhm.
from provide you with the right vehicle, the wrapping of the vehicle, the artwork, the graphics, everything.
Wow. Okay.
Everything end to end. So you're out there with a matter of 6 months or less, operating as a professional power washing drone operator, or in a matter of couple months, adding drones to your existing business model.
Yeah. Wow. That's fascinating. I
And
have one more question for you, but I want to pop
yes,
up Jason's comment. He said he cleans 2 air traffic controllers, and he thinks he probably needs some serious FAA clearance to run a drone by the tower.
not serious, but not difficult. It's been done. It's been done today.
Yeah.
You just have to get the clearance to do it on a given day at a given time, so that they could factor in whatever clearance from operating aircraft that you need to get it done.
Yeah.
But it's not difficult to get, and I strongly suggest that everyone consider it as a way to become more competitive, more in lockstep with what the direction the industry is going,
Mhm.
to increase their profit margins, but also enhance safety for the operation and for the workers out there.
Yeah. With your all of your background and experience in aviation, how frequently do commercial airline or commercial jets have to be cleaned or need to be cleaned? And could you use a drone for that?
They could use for washing, and also for de-icing procedures,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
and
wow.
and for inspections.
Yeah.
And for inspections. And let me just say, and I talked about the seasonality of work earlier, and let me just expound on that, because when you think of power washing and you think of drone technology with power washing, you also have to consider the amount of added flexibility using a drone can bring to your operation.
Mhm.
So that very same drone that's used for power washing could be used for painting, graffiti removal, for seed spreading, for fumigation, for insects and stuff.
Yeah.
And you wash just about everything from buildings, windows, facades, solar panels, wind turbines, water towers, everything. So
Wow.
you can really never run out of work using the AD Endure drone, because of the multitude of payloads. That's the attachments that go to the bottom of the drone
Yeah.
that gives it its utility. Think of it as your typical John Deere tractor,
Yeah.
that can be used for many different farm applications just by changing out the buckets. You change out the payload in a matter of minutes under the drone, and you're off to doing something totally different. The states across the nation, for example, that use our drones for graffiti removal, they also use them for washing the retroreflective signs on the highways. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh
um,
my gosh. Okay, that's you just opened up a vista of opportunity, because I hadn't
I
thought
like
of
that word.
when for example, just the reflective signs on the highway, the signs above that are above an active traffic zone. In order to clean those or do something, they have to close 2 lanes of an interstate to get a truck in there with somebody to wash. But that is excellent. I'm going to flip through some of our comments. Jason's like, what a cool guest and conversation. Thank you very much, by the way,
Thanks,
Barry.
Jason.
Yeah. And Jeff said, can we hire existing pilots? I mean, there's a
Yes.
different licensing, different level.
Yes. So yes, absolutely. There's a we have we have access to drone raid pilots around the country.
Hmm.
So whether you want to hire a pilot specifically to operate your drone, or just have someone in-house be trained, both options are available.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Fascinating. Well, thank you very much. Thanks. First of all, thanks for your time. I'm glad, like, I know it took a little while for us to find within your schedule that where you could actually have a few minutes to be on with us. Thank you. And
And obviously we can be contacted. We will be at a huge convention, of course. Most of everything that we talked about today will be showcased, at the convention. You talked a bit ago about, or you mentioned, underground inspections.
Yeah.
We have drones that do underground inspections using 3-band radar, inspecting underground infrastructure all the way down to 50 meters. So
wow.
for landmines, for sinkholes, for underground, infrastructure,
Yeah.
Quarries and things of that nature. Just
Yeah.
a multitude of applications using the very same drone that's used for power washing. So when you think of scaling or expanding your business through diversity, definitely something to consider, that you could do much more than power washing with the very same drone that's is the AD Endure.
Yeah. Your analogy or a metaphor with it's like a John Deere tractor. You just change the implements and it changes the application. That's really I was thinking so narrowly. I want to share. Let's see if can you see the screen of your website?
Yes.
Yeah, with the different drones here, we've got graffiti removal, spray washing. This looks like a similar or the same.
Yep, it is.
Model.
It is the same. Yep.
Is this the model that you'll be
that's
we're giving
correct.
away? Or
the one that we're giving away is somewhat of a training drone.
Okay.
It's called the Hurricane.
The Hurricane.
Yes.
Okay. I'm certain it's in here somewhere. I was so pleasantly surprised when I went to the website. I was expecting to see, one drone, one thing, 10 of these, rather than the specialty application, especially the below ground ones, one that caught my attention, primarily because yesterday was a news article that was published and said Montana has the 2 deepest caverns in the continental United States. I was like, how deep is it? How do they know? Anyway. So
yeah, absolutely. And just think, I mean, say for example, I was reading an article yesterday. A helicopter crashed doing power line inspections, and power line inspections using helicopters is banned in Norway and some other countries, and will soon be banned in the U.S. And we have drones, the Lion drone, for example, which is the only one in the world that could land on power lines without deactivating the grid to inspect the splices or lengths of power line. The Cobra does inspections for corona discharge and delamination of the cabling, the whole nine. So I encourage everybody out there who's listening or not to consider adding drones, not just for power washing, but for everything else that we talked about, and the plethora of other opportunities that exist that we will be happy to share with you. We will be at a convention, of course, showcasing all that stuff. But you can also go to our website, which is posted here, or send us an email at info@aquilinedrones.com, or give us a call, 860-361-7958, which is also on the website.
You said 860-361-7598?
7958.
7958.
Yes. And that's also on the website.
Okay. I just wanted to put it up for people to see. Yeah, that's fascinating. And this is great. Barry, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for being a sponsor of the show at the huge convention. And thanks for bringing the drone. And this has been very informative and educational. Thanks so much. What fun.
And that's what really makes America truly great. American ingenuity in Americans' hands, doing America's work, for good wage and good way of life, better than our standards. Happy to be here.
Excellent. And then for those of you watching, or if you're catching the recording, if you want to have an opportunity to win this drone, you have to be at the huge convention. So make sure you go ahead and book your ticket and get there. I think everybody that I've seen that's joined us live is already going. So thank you. But can't wait to see you in 2 weeks at the convention, Barry. Thank you very much.
Yes, and thanks for being bald and beautiful.
We're also on the early end of the trend of what's new and sexy. It's not just drones that are sexy. Let's go.
Thanks for a great time for sure.
Thank you. Travel safe. I know you're heading from here to Japan, or from Seattle, Japan, shortly. So fly safe.
All right. See you in a bit.
All right. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me.